If you're
What's up, guys? Good morning. I'm just now awake. Well, I've been awake a little bit. I drove back out to my parking spot that I normally park at because I'm expecting my MacBook today, so I wanted to be here. So I'm anxiously awaiting, watching out the windshield for it to drive up. Well, it not drive up, but the van delivering it to drive up. So, well, hello, meant to be RV first in the house. Uncle Lisa Productions, how you doing? Lucky Dog Production Moderator, how you doing? Weekend RVing, hello, my friend. Everybody having a good day, I hope. I'm just chilling like a villain, though, while I'm waiting for the mail. And I also got my stickers coming this week, too. I think they'll be here Monday. Hello, Mary Jones. Nice to see you in the house. Awesome. Didn't Bob do a great show? He is a good interviewer. I really like watching his interviews. He's got a smooth way of talking to him and asking questions. He's real uh real good at interviewing. He connects, it seems like, with everybody. And it's chilly here today too, guys. It's I think it was 39 this morning when I got back out here, and the sun's not out yet. So yeah, it's a little chilly. I'm wearing my hat and my hoodie top. But other than that, I'm just hanging. Let me throw a link in there if anybody wants to come in here. Hang on here. Let me make sure I got my volume up here. There we go. All right. Hey, Scott. How you doing, buddy? There we go. Wow, why would they reject my comment to throw a link in? That's weird. Hey, meant to be, can you message me and tell me why they won't let me share the link? That is odd. I've never had it do that yet. Hello, Linda Barker. How you doing, my friend? Char of Heart, how are you? I know YouTube's getting on my nerves. It says YouTube rejected your comment. This is fairly common when using a link. You may need to share the link another way. I don't know. Griswold Family Vacay, how you doing? I'm going to try this one more time. Okay, I got. Hang on, guys. I'm messaging and. Okay, I'm going to try it again here. Okay, it let me that time. Thanks, meant to be. It let me that time. I don't know why it wouldn't let me before. That was weird. They're picking on me today. I'm not awake yet. I mean, I drove out here and everything, but I didn't even have my coffee till a few minutes ago, and I'm still drinking my first cup. Hey, Johnny's Journey. Nice to see ya. I threw a link out if anybody wants to jump up and have a cup of coffee with me and chat. That would be good. YouTube is on a rant. Yes, they are. How you doing? There's the link. Hello, Reed's RV Life. How you doing? Budget Bushcraft and RV Life. How are you doing? And like, if I miss you guys, don't get mad at me. I tell you that every time. It's hard to stay up with this. Is my picture clear? I'm running off my data on my phone. I'm using it for a hotspot, so I was wondering if it's coming through clear. Bob's Adventure, if you want to jump up here, that's cool, dude. I want to talk to you. Camping Therapy, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Yes, I'm freezing. I mean, well, I'm not freezing. I just turned the heater on. I was hoping the sun would come out by now, but it hasn't. And it was 39 when I pulled up to park this morning. Kind of chilly. Okay, good. The picture's good and everything with using my data as my phone as a hotspot. I was wondering how that worked, because that's what I'm going to do with the Mac, is use my phone as a hotspot. But Bob, if you're in the house, if you want to jump up, I want to talk to you, buddy. Hello, burning up the roads. How you doing? Oh, okay. I see. Bob stepped away for a few minutes. Gosh, he does good on his interviews. I really like how he does his interviews. He's a smooth talker. Smooth talker. Yeah, my MacBook's coming today. I'm sitting here in front of my van looking out the window at the driveway while I'm talking to you guys, waiting anxiously for it to be here. Because I tracked it and it said it's on the vehicle that delivers it. Good morning, burning up the roads. I hope everything's going good for you today. A 105 there. Holy, I'd rather be cold than hot any day. You can bundle up a lot, but out in public, there's only so many clothes you can take off. Charhart, I hope you're having a great day. RV weekend, good morning. Daydreams about nice things. Now there's a rock star and he's in the house. Whoop whoop. Boy, that you guys are moving fast on me here now, I'll tell you. It's hard to see. When you get as old as me, it's hard to see these screens. I'm telling you guys. You just wait. All you youngins, just wait till you get my age. Things don't work right. You snap, crackle, and pop when you wake up. Gary, you want to come up? Or anybody that wants to come up and chat, they're welcome to. I'm all about chatting. I'm drinking my coffee, though, while we chat. Man, the roads were quiet this morning when I was headed out here. And it got real foggy. Williams is kind of up in the mountains, and so from the valley, when I was coming up the mountain, you could barely see, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It got so foggy at one point. I do not like driving in fog. I used to drive truck, and the worst thing is driving in fog. I'd rather be on ice than in fog. Oh, we got a guest popping in here. You ready? Give me a thumbs up. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Good morning.
Good morning, Gina. How are you?
Good. Drinking my first cup of coffee. Coming alive.
There's my first cup of coffee right there. No,
I'm
just getting ready to take Hubs for his medical procedure. That's why I'm not going to be doing my live today. Overslept a little bit, so I
Okay.
can't stay for all of your show, but I wanted to say, good morning.
Well, thank you. Good morning. And prayers will I'll be praying for the procedure today.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It's something people have done every 5 to 10 years, so he's been preparing
Right.
for it since yesterday, and he just wants to get it over with now.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, prayers sent, and thinking of you throughout the day. Take it easy for sure. Hang on, I got someone else that wants to pop in here with us. Here we go. Thumbs up. I think he's got, yeah, there, thumb sideways. All right, 2 thumbs up.
Who is
Wild
that?
man in the house.
Is that Michael?
Pardon me?
I'm hiding.
Yeah.
I'm hiding behind the banner.
Good morning,
Behind
Michael.
Hi, how are you?
Let me pop that banner off here. I'm trying to figure out how to do the banner.
Double click on any comment and it'll take it off. There.
Oh, well, there we go. Learn a new trick today by the tech guy just now.
Yeah.
Witness
it's nice to have people who know.
Witness protection.
Now, how do I move that hand? Do I double click that?
Yeah, double click the hand. You need a hammer. You just take a hammer on that part of the screen and just tap it. And that'll fix it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or maybe tap your toe with a hammer.
Been there, done that.
What you up today, sir?
Working, getting ready to. I just spent a bunch of time on the phone with my mother-in-law, helping her understand YouTube analytics because she's that close to getting her 4,000 hours.
Oh, wow.
So she's trying to figure all that out.
I ran her playlist. I ran her playlist last night till my battery ran dead.
Oh, well, thank you.
I hope that helped.
Yeah. She got yesterday she got about 50 hours total. So that's good.
Nice.
Hey, and she's even in here, so I need to be careful what I say. But don't tell her I said this, but she had a copyright claim.
Oh no.
Yeah. She's stealing people's music without permission.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Not your mother-in-law.
No, not my mother. No. It happens.
There's my buddy from across the pond. Hello, Paul from Southwest England. Nice to see you. Good morning, buddy.
The copyright claims happen a lot, especially if you get royalty-free music from somewhere other than YouTube. Look at the QD.
Even like with Epidemic Sound?
Not with Epidemic Sound. The best thing to do, if you have a subscription service like Epidemic Sound, the best thing to do is always include a link to that in your description, just like somewhere at the bottom of your videos descriptions. That way it's there, and if something, because YouTube will, if they get the sense of music or whatever, and they think there might be a copyright problem, they're going to look at the. I'm trying to get my camera fixed here. They're going to look at the description too to see if there's anything there, about where this came from and stuff like that. They do a little bit.
Should I be putting sound music from Epidemic Sound in my description?
Honestly, you should if you're using Epidemic Sound, because there also should be an affiliate. There's also be an affiliate link there, so you should always just put that on there. Sign up for their affiliate program, and then put music by Epidemic Sound, and then the link, your affiliate link. That way, you make a couple of bucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy moly! I learned something new today.
Me too.
That's 2 things.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
And if you have a TubeBuddy subscription, you actually can get a discount on Epidemic Sound. I think it's 25% off.
Oh wow! Holy moly!
Yep.
I do not have a TubeBuddy, but
I do have TubeBuddy subscription, and also I made a bunch of thumbnails yesterday. I was working on thumbnails and learning how to nail that. No pun intended, but yeah, I learned yesterday. But anyways, that's good news to know, Michael.
Yep. And I see Nomad on Broken Lies said something about Epidemic Sound. Contacting them, they should take care of it. Yeah. If you do get the copyright claim, for an Epidemic Sound song, you can actually just go through the dispute process and just say you got it from Epidemic Sound, or you may be able to or you just may be able to tell Epidemic. I don't have Epidemic Sound yet, so I don't know. They may actually have a process in place where you can just like tell Epidemic Sound and they'll take care of it for you. One or the other.
I might be wrong, but it all boils down to ASCAP. I mean, so Epidemic Sound is paying ASCAP, so musicians get their money out of that is what it's all about.
And it's really all about getting paid, and you really only run into that when there's multiple organizations involved, like Joe, like you're trying to play Joe Blow's music and you got it from Epidemic Sound, but Joe Blow also is contracted with this other copyright claim headhunter people too. So because some people, I mean, for all these copyrights, that's what they do. They look for their songs on YouTube. So it's not that YouTube is finding them. It's that these copyright claim hunter people are finding them and then making a claim with YouTube.
Right.
So
and Nettie was telling me I should do an affiliate thing with Amazon.
Oh, absolutely.
See, that cat tent I have, the outdoor kitty Outback Jack kitty compound. I've sold like 6 of them since I've been showing them. I mean, I didn't sell them, but they went over and bought them. I wish I would have known about that.
Yeah. I mean, the Amazon for number one, it's free, so no reason not to sign up. But the cool thing about it is, if you have, like, if you go to any of our videos, if it's a product review, you can get the product from Amazon. We always have an Amazon affiliate link to that product in the description. And for all of our gear, we also have that in our all of our video descriptions. We have all of our gear, and next to each one of them is the Amazon affiliate link. So it's all there. But the cool thing is, if somebody clicks on the link, say for your cat house, I just had to call it that. Sorry.
Best cat house in Oregon.
That's right. Best little cat house in Oregon. But if somebody clicks on that, even if they don't buy that particular item, I think it's anything they buy over a certain period. I don't remember what that period is. It could be 24 hours or it could be longer. Anything they buy from Amazon, you get a cut of that.
Oh, snap. Okay, I'll be doing that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Way cool. I didn't know that. And so it's just called the Amazon affiliate program is all I got to fill out. That
Yeah, just Google. Honestly, the easiest way for me to find it was to Google it versus going to Amazon and trying to find it.
Right.
But then sign up and you can use your existing Amazon login to create your account. No worries.
Nice.
Char of Hearts, is the copyright thing what happened during karaoke? I sang the last day of May and we were shut down for my second song. It probably, I mean, I wasn't there and so I don't know, but I mean, it's potentially could be. And again, if you're singing without music, the odds are no, because you can, I mean, people sing songs all the time, right? That they didn't write. I mean, heck, even if you go to a concert, even a Joe Walsh concert, perhaps, or an Eagles concert, or maybe a original lineup Van Halen concert. Especially original Van Halen concert. What was one of their most famous early songs, hits? Pretty Woman. They didn't write it.
Oh yeah, Pretty Woman. Yeah,
Pretty Woman. Yeah. I'm talking way before. I'm talking way before 5150.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking Diver Down.
You're talking David Lee Roth.
Yep. Exactly.
David Lee Roth. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, that wasn't their song, but they got the the rights to be able to re-record it and redo it. And
Right.
I don't know all the intricacies and legalities of copyright stuff, but
I know that playing music, I used to play in clubs here in Oregon, and that we had to pay an ASCAP fee when we played at a bar. It was like 25 for, at every bar we played at, you pay $25, and that pays the royalties for all the songs you play, because they're all, just cover songs. And so, yeah, $25 a night, maybe it was. And so it covers, all the songs you play, and that goes to ASCAP, and then that gets distributed out to musicians. But yeah, that I think they should get their rights to the cut for sure.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I know get heartburn over it, but I mean, if if you're the one who made the work, whatever that work is, whether it's a song, piece of art, whatever, you should not only get verbal credit for it, but if somebody's making money off of it, you should get a cut of it. I mean,
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
And the people say, "Well, I bought the album." That's not it.
Right.
Hey guys,
Right.
I have to go because I've got to go get ready to leave. But I just wanted to say hi and hope you guys have a good day, and I'll be back sometime later today on somebody's live stream.
Well.
Have a safe trip.
Well, you have a good day, and you guys take it easy today.
Yeah, hope everything turns out well at the doctors.
Me too. It will. I'm pretty sure it will. Yep. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Yeah, I noticed when well, like on Epidemic Sound, there's so many people that I've never heard of on there. It's not like the name Van Halen. It's just not names that you hear of, but and I hear musicians gripe about stuff like musicians that go to like Epidemic Sound and sell their music. I don't see nothing wrong with it. A lot of musicians will call that selling out, but you know what? There's a million bands out there, and for you to get discovered in any sort of way is a chance in a million. And it's like, dude, I would go to Epidemic Sound if I was doing my own music and sell it outright without a problem.
What does selling out mean? I mean, you hear people say that all the time. I mean, if you're getting paid for what you're doing, and you heard this a lot, especially when punk and alternative were starting out. Anybody who made it big were called sellouts. I mean, they called like REM and the B-52s sellouts. Well, were they sellouts? Or, I mean, what did they change what they were doing? No. They still put out the same music. They still put out the same message. It's just that people finally heard it and liked it.
Right, exactly. They had a chance to hear it. It's not like it was back when, say, Elvis. If you could get a small radio station to play your song and get it out there, you would have a chance to make it. But that don't happen now. That's not the way it works. It's all done on phone calls, to big execs, and bands don't get it. I've seen some garage bands that were ever bit as good as, say, Van Halen or the Eagles. I mean, they were ever bit as good, but they would not do the steps they needed to get themselves out there. And actually, I hate to say this, but in the music business, my opinion, 50% of it is how good you are. The other 50% is how you portray yourself and how you look. I mean, definitely, it's how you market yourself. And
I'll argue with you on that one, Gina, because I think for a lot of people, it's more 90% how they look and act, because they don't have any talent whatsoever. Yeah. Just saying.
Exactly. Oh no, I've been to a lot of concerts, especially when I lived in Oklahoma. Yeah. A fellow I was dating for years was a DJ, and so I'd always get free tickets to concerts. And it is true. I've been to concerts that there were one-hit wonders. They got lucky with a hit, but the rest of the music was horrible. And I'm just like, man, how'd they go wrong? But yeah, it's definitely that is probably more true than 50%.
Yeah, well, for a lot of people, they do this one song that's a little bit out of their comfort zone, and that one song becomes a hit, and they're reluctant to keep going down that path because it's not the kind of music they want to play. I mean, like Kiss did a whole album of disco music because they were just trying to stay alive. at the time.
Yeah,
which
yeah, they were trying to
I
feed
guess
themselves.
Staying alive is kind of funny that I use that term without even thinking about it with disco, but
Right.
yeah, they were just trying to keep relevant, and they regret that. But because I would call that a sellout. I mean, if you're going to call something a sellout,
What?
Kiss doing
Yeah.
a disco album is a sellout.
Right. Okay, so when you say the band Kiss, what song comes to mind?
The first song that comes to my mind is Beth.
Right. Okay, because they were kind of considered hard rock, but Beth was their biggest hit to me. I think it was, and it was such a good ballad. But yeah, definitely Beth. That's the one that comes to mind. And they have a lot of great hard songs, but that one probably did sell more than any of them.
Well, it's always I mean, because every hard rock hair band, whatever you want to call them, they all have to have the one ballad on their album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the formula. I think Kiss actually started that formula. I mean, you rock out for 9 to 10 songs, and then you got to have the one radio friendly, girlfriend friendly song that you can play, and those are usually the bigger hits.
Of all the music that I listened to that's back when I played guitar a lot, and all the music that I listened to, the hardest music for me to play and to get the sound was Boston. Because he used a whole different guitar setup that you couldn't find, and later on he marketed what he used. It was called a Rockman, and you could not get that sound without it. And I hated playing Boston live because I couldn't sound like them, But it definitely, was definitely their market, their hook.
I can't remember his name, but he is definitely one of the most unsung rock guitarists out there.
Yeah.
I mean, not just he was just so innovative, and when you heard him play, it's like Eddie Van Halen. When you just hear a couple of chords, you know who it is. You don't need to have anything else. Just get 2 or 3 chords in a row, and it's him right off the bat.
Right.
And I can't remember the guy's name from Boston, but he was the exact same way.
I can't remember his name either.
And it's sad.
There you go. It tells you.
That was such a dysfunctional band. I mean, I think the lead singer actually committed suicide eventually.
I can't remember something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, because there was a long time between Boston 1, Boston 2, Don't Look Back. There was huge gaps and years between all those albums.
Right.
And I know at one point, I can't remember the guy's name. I had to look him up in a minute.
Hello, CJ Denny. Hello.
He actually started another band, which was a one album wonder, Orion the Hunter. Now, who knew that?
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Orion the Hunter, and it was pretty good music. But again, it was it was guitar based. It was him, so it was right there on its own. It was great music.
Right. Boston definitely was one. Oh, hang on, I got a cat.
Yeah, you do.
There we go.
Got flashed by cat.
Yeah. Boston was one of my favorite bands, but also probably my most favorite band growing up was Lynyrd Skynyrd and ZZ Top.
Yes.
Definitely one of my favorites. And ZZ Top, I mean, just phenomenal 3-chord band, And I always liked simple music that told a story. And another favorite was John Cougar. He always told a story on just about every song, and that's what I liked about him.
Yeah. I don't still have it, but I did have one of the original Street Survivor album covers. With them standing in front of the flames, before the plane crash. I actually saw Lynyrd Skynyrd in concert in a bar in the late 80s. So obviously this was this was with Johnny Van Zant being up front. And at that point in time, they had just kind of reformed and were touring, and he refused to sing Freebird.
Right.
He said, and at the time he said, "I'll never sing it." He just put his hat on the microphone and walked off the stage when they played it. So the band played it, but it wasn't sung. It was just the crowd sang it. And that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome, actually. But unfortunately, he didn't stick to his guns, and he's actually started singing it in concert, which I think he would have been better off not, just because of the impact that it had by not singing it.
Right. I seen 38 Special in concert, which is, just off of Leonard Skinner, and it was such an odd show. That show was because they opened up for, it was Leonard Skinner, Ozzy Osbourne was the headliner, and Iron Maiden was the second one up. That was such an odd show, combination of bands, but it was good. It was good.
That is an odd show. They're all great bands. But
and then, yeah, it was. And I wasn't an Iron Maiden fan until I seen him in concert. Those guys were quite good, actually. They were a little bit above the hard that I liked, but they were good in concert. And Ozzy just tore the house up. I mean, he had this large hand that just come down like this, like over the stage, and he was standing in the hand. I was like, yes. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
What's your favorite concert you've been to?
I'll have to say the favorite one I ever went to was the Scorpions, and that's only because that's how I met my wife.
Yeah, right on.
I had an extra ticket to a Scorpions concert, and a friend said, and we had a mutual friend who said, "Well, I know somebody who wants to go but doesn't have a ticket." I said, "Well, fine. Here, this person can have a ticket. I don't care. Wasn't a date or anything. It was just I had an extra ticket." So, and that's how we met, and we've been inseparable ever since. Going on, well, we've been together over 29 years, but this November will be our 29th wedding anniversary. So,
and you owe it to the Scorpions.
Yeah, it was a great, great concert as well.
In the guitar world, they're not overlooked as great guitarists, but in the common music, they're kind of overlooked as guitarists. They do some harmony with their guitars that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I really like them.
I'll tell you,
Dire Straits is another great guitarist.
Yeah, I love Mark Knopfler, and as far as harmonies and why I think a lot of people are underrated, Tesla.
Oh, heck yeah. Tesla's one of the best.
I saw them in concert. They actually opened for Poison, the show I saw.
Oh, wow. Much better musicians than Poison.
Yeah, and they I mean, granted they were the opening band, but they were the headliner that night. They were just awesome. Just because they could sit down, any one of them could sit down with whatever instrument it was, the drums, the guitar, the bass, whatever, and they can carry 15 minutes of a show with that one person and their instrument. And then when they got together, I mean, and this is back when MTV was still number one. MTV was still playing music videos, and and they had just started doing the Unplugged show. So everybody was doing Unplugged stuff, at the time. So Tesla did a couple of numbers, just acoustic, and no electric guitars, which. Again, they're great. Look it up on YouTube. I'm sure they're there. MTV Unplugged for Tesla. Nirvana did a great Unplugged set too. They were great musicians.
I was not a Nirvana fan. I for some reason I did not connect with Nirvana.
Now I like the music. I like that genre of music, but but I mean they were great musicians. And so even if of course, drugs and and everything else mess them up like they do mess up a lot of bands. But I think the best one I ever saw in concert was, and I'm trying to think back because I don't have very good memories anymore.
I've been to a lot of concerts. Hard to say a favorite. Journey. Now I'm going to tell you, Journey was 2 hours of pure rock and roll hits to me. And I loved that concert, and it was so loud I could feel my chest, my rib cage beating. It was the loudest show I've ever been to, and I wasn't too far back, but I mean it was loud. But a show that surprised me was Rick Springfield. I was going just as with a friend because she loved him, He was on the soap operas then, and I'm thinking, well, this is going to be boring. But it was probably one of the best shows I've seen. He was funny.
Now,
And he's really a good guitarist.
Really?
Yeah, he's actually really good, and he writes good songs. He had a great show live. I there were so many women there because he was on the soap operas, and so many women in their 40s and 50s throwing their bras up on the stage. I'm like, what? What? But yeah, he made it a great show. And you know who he opened up for was Hart, which that made it even better. So
that's cool. Now, I would love to have seen the old Journey in concert.
Oh yeah, that's who I see, Journey. Yeah.
And I mean, because
I seen him on the Escape
songs.
album. Yeah, Escape album, the biggest album. Yeah, I seen him on that. And then a week later, I seen REO Speedwagon. I forget their big album. It was at the same time as Journey was big, and I was like, yeah, I was riding high on 2 weeks on just good music.
Yeah. Was it you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish album?
Can't tune a fish. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
One of my favorite album names.
Who opened up for them was Jay Giles' band. Opened up for him.
They were a good band until they kicked out their lead singer.
Yeah, Peter Wolf. When they kicked him out, they lost it.
Yeah, they had nothing after that. Like
I love that old video with them singing "Love Stinks" and the drummers playing drums with dead fish.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Boy George, Boy George. Happy Place Camping saw Boy George. Let me see. Let me click this up there. Whoop. Years ago, he was actually, yes, Boy George can sing. I don't care what anybody says. That fella can sing.
I'm not a fan, but I agree. Just not my thing.
Right. Well, I wasn't a fan of punk until I heard a couple of bands, and maybe some people would call them sellouts, but I think it was the Dead Kennedys and Sid and Nancy, of course, and there was another one, I forget the name of, Black Flag. I wasn't a fan of punk a lot, until I really kind of started listening to that, and I wasn't a fan of disco until I got kind of turned on to the Bee Gees, which is all disco, and those guys have a lot of hit songs.
They cranked out a lot of hits. Not
and they wrote for a lot of people.
They did. Now I love the Dead Kennedys. I love Black Flag. The Ramones.
Yeah,
you gotta love the Ramones.
The Ramones. Yeah. I love them.
And one band I liked a lot, but they were more West Coast. They weren't way out there, but it was still that punk style of music, was the Surf Punks.
Yeah.
And not many people heard of them.
I've heard of them, actually. The B-52s. See, Happy Place Camping saw the B-52s. Yeah, another good band. And they kind of got. I'm surprised that they didn't stay up big longer. They actually had some good music.
World's greatest party band.
And another singer I really liked was Cyndi Lauper. I had a wide taste of music for different reasons. Playing guitar, it was always rock and roll, but music to listen to, I really like Cyndi Lauper. She just had a good connection to the audience, I think.
It's a great voice, but again, not a fan. Not a fan. I appreciate it, but not a fan of it.
You know what? I didn't appreciate rap until I learned about. I seen Straight Outta Compton. I mean, I listened to rap, but those guys really did. They NWA really was a time in music history. I mean, they just kind of put it all out there, and they kind of changed music in a way.
They did. They really did.
That group. Yeah.
Well, they changed pretty much every genre of popular music. Straight Outta Compton made a lot of I'm sorry, I'm working and talking, so I'm not looking at the screen exactly. But Straight Outta Compton, for those who don't realize it, especially old white guys like me, is really a lot of, even if they don't want to admit it, you can see a lot of it in just about any other style of music, even country today. It's unreal.
Yeah. And I don't know how true Straight Outta Compton was, how it was, it was pretty true, I guess. They all had something to do with it. But they definitely opened the doors for other rap, and definitely fought the system hard. And during a time, oh my gosh, come on, buddy. I mean, they just, I don't know, they definitely made rap, in my opinion. But and what's amazing about them, those guys now, Ice Cube and what are you doing? And Dre, Dr. Dre, all of them have done so well in their lives, and how they've progressed with their lives, and I mean they've made it. They've got it made.
I guess they really were talented. I mean, even though everybody at the time was saying they're just a bunch of no talent, hacks, yelling in a microphone. I guess they did have a little bit of talent.
Yeah, and they struck a nerve, with some of their songs, and that's kind of what made them, they wasn't scared to strike that nerve and push that button, and that did them some good. I think sometimes Madonna's another great, example of that. She struck a nerve when she started. Every kid wanted to buy her album or be like her. Every girl did, but the parents did not want them buying those, and that just sold that many more albums. If the parents don't like them, buy it.
And for you young kids in the room, if you want to know where the warning labels on music came from, you can thank NWA.
Yes, you can.
Well, you can also thank Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife, but it was because of that. And if you want to have some real fun, go back and Google the Senate hearings for music label or music censorship, and look up Dee Snider's interview when he went to Capitol Hill in front of all those senators. Talk about somebody who they thought was a complete moron and idiot and had no respect for, and he got up there and just blew them all away with the fact that he could speak and could speak eloquently and knowledgeably, and still have hairband hair.
Right. Yes, Paul, that's true. The Dead Kennedys were awesome conceptually. They called against race, greed, racism, pollution, and so on, years before others, and their message is as fresh as ever. Yes, that is true. That's kind of what I liked about the Dead Kennedys, and they were what kind of turned me on to punk, for sure. But the music that I listened to just to play guitar, because that's what I played all the time, was mostly just rock and roll, AC/DC, stuff like that, and Cheap Trick was another one of my favorites.
Oh, love Cheap Trick.
Yeah, I did too. He had great guitar riffs. I've seen Van Halen in concert, and Eddie, there was nothing like. He was before his time. Eddie was before his time. And he's still awesome. But yeah, definitely Van Halen was the top of the list. And when David Lee Roth quit, I wasn't sure I'd like him, but I liked him even more with Sammy.
See, I was a big fan of Sammy beforehand.
Me too. Yeah.
So I like the combination. I wish it could have worked out. There was too many. I mean, there was a lot of egos with David Lee Roth in a room by himself. There's a lot of ego, but and I figured
did you know he was a paramedic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I just seen him on an interview, and for years he's been a paramedic down in California. I was like, what? He just didn't seem like he was that. Oh my gosh, I got a cat climbing on me. Jeez.
I mean, how weird would that have been, especially when he first started it, when everybody knew who he was and they still associate him with Van Halen? It's like, you're laying there with a gunshot wound or in a car accident, and you see this guy walk up. It's like, what? Am I dead?
Dude.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, give me mouth to mouth. It's all good.
Well, I wouldn't have said that, but
Well, yeah, but I would. I always thought he was cute. And he got cuter as he got older, I think. When he cut his hair, he got cuter.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, and I don't listen to music as much as I used to. And Epidemic Sound has changed that for me. I started listening to music more because of stuff I haven't heard, and music to me is memories, and sometimes there's things I don't want to remember, So
Right. For sure, unfortunately.
Were you a Blondie fan?
Yeah, I did.
Me too.
I was kind of pretty much into everything, but never was a top 40 guy. Anything else, rock and roll, alternative, new wave, punk, a little bit of country.
Yeah. I was
and Shelley just said, I know you're a punk. That's what Shelley just said.
Well, when I was listening to Kiss when I was really young, I was also listening to Ricky Nelson. So I was quite confused. But I was confused. But it was for me, it was more about music and anything with cool guitar, whether it be soft rock or top 40 or hard rock, it would catch my attention. And that's I think that's probably why I didn't listen to rap. There was not a lot of stuff that I connected with it. And that's kind of what I like about rap. I can turn it on and not think about anything. Just listen to it, And so
Linda
I do like music, all kinds of music. Huh?
Linda Barker says, Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that one. That's a good one. Justin, I know this is Justin. NWA, Ice Cube are great, but Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, and Ice-T were big rap influence. Yeah. Love some Beastie Boys. Yeah. For sure.
Beastie Boys were great. Yeah, for sure. I'm down to say that I was even an NSYNC fan because my daughter loved them. And those little boys could sing. I'm a Justin Timberlake fan big time because he can do any of it. I like that. I like the versatility of that kid.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that type of music. I never was.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. No, yeah.
And the fact they call them boy bands, they're not bands. They're 4 or 5 boys singing and dancing.
Yeah,
there's no
group.
band. It's a group.
Right.
Yeah, give them a guitar or keyboard and see what happens. Then we can call them a band.
Okay. Yeah, Daydream, you're on about that. Fleetwood Mac. All their problems made them great. And
oh my God,
talk
about a dysfunctional family. Fleetwood Mac for sure. Between Mick Fleetwood's drug use, Stevie Nicks and her issues and
we got a question here, Michael. What was your first album?
My first album. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it would have been in the early 70s when I was, single digit years, and it was probably, really the only thing that pops in my mind. I know I had music before this that I loved was Farner 4. 38 Special, and again, like I said, Street Survivors earlier, which I think was like 73, 72. Right. And then I know Street Survivors wasn't my first album, but yeah, somewhere in that range of time and that style of music.
Right. My first album, if I remember right, was an 8-track, and it was Meatloaf, Bad Outta Hell. The first one I bought with my own money, and I was so intrigued by that. I really didn't listen to a lot of rock before that, but I was intrigued by how dynamic he did his music. It was all dynamics. And Paradise by the Dashboard Light is the best song ever written, in my opinion. It tells a story from beginning to end. It's a very long song, but the story is amazing, and it's a true, it's a true life. You see it all the time. Boy meets girl in high school. they sleep together, they have, get married, and then by the end of it, they're praying to get divorced. So yeah, it was definitely, that was my favorite album, my first album that I ever bought with my own money.
Bob's Adventure, Stairway to Heaven. That's a good way to start.
Go.
That's a good way to start. Now I think my first 8-track I ever bought was Farner 4.
Oh, there you go.
Positive. I had Farner 4 on 8-track.
Jukebox Hero was the song.
Oh yeah. Well, that album had a ton of hit songs in it. It was all great.
Oh,
and a lot of chart songs on it. Jukebox Hero definitely being one of them. Gary just needs to stop drooling.
In that song,
yeah.
In that song, you could picture when he's saying, standing there by the or standing by the door listening in the rain type thing. You could just see that happening.
Yeah. Linda Barker, my first album was the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys.
Beach Boys,
absolutely love the Beach Boys. And Jan and Dean, unfortunately that met with tragedy. If it hadn't have been for the car accident, I think is what it was. They would have been bigger. They would have been bigger than the Beach Boys, Jan and Dean, because they were way more talented. And but Beach Boys are great.
Yeah. There's so many great bands and so many different genres of music that I like. I can't tell you all of them, but I would have to say Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, turned me on to rock and roll, Wide Open. I mean, it opened my eyes to it. That'll probably be my favorite album of all time.
Yeah. Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys influenced me. Pet Sounds actually influenced a lot of people. It's just one of those.
What? I don't know if I know that song.
No, it's an album.
I don't know if I know that song.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. That's probably Brian Wilson's work of art right there. With that.
Hey, Roy and Becky, I need all my moms to run your guys' links, so you got them. And you guys, thank you so much for helping me out today. And what's Daydream saying here? That's Lucky Die. Bad Out of Hell was a great album. Paradise by the Dashboard Light was a great, yeah.
And I saw somebody talk about
that song was so well written.
Yeah, I saw somebody talking about Guns N' Roses a second ago too. I never was a Guns N' Roses fan. Never. I'm a huge Slash fan though. Don't get me wrong. I think
you know what? Slash plays just like Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
Plays just like him, but he's a little more sloppier. You can hear that drag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you play guitar, you probably can. You hear that drag on his chords, but he did play a lot like Jimmy Page, and he had his own sound, and I think it was his own sound was due to that drag. So yeah.
I always thought that Guns N' Roses would have been far better with pretty much anybody else as the lead singer. I never was an Axl Rose fan, and the fact he took over for AC/DC, not a fan.
Yeah, nah. Roy and Becky's first was Barbara Mandrell's Greatest Hits. Wow, I remember that. Actually. I was a Barbara Mandrell fan too. I like country.
Yeah, I like old country, like Conway Twitty, George Jones.
Oh yeah,
things.
Well, I'm from Oklahoma. All those guys. Oh yeah.
American
Roy and Becky
Pie.
right after my show.
One. Bob Seger. Now, when I was I see Daydream just put that in there. Now, Bob Seger is more of a religion almost. It's like when I was growing up in the late 70s and early to mid 80s, we stopped when a Bob Seger song came on the radio. We just did. We stopped, you turn it up and you listen. And if anybody talked, you shut them up. Or if the girl in the car with you,
storyteller.
Yeah, he is. And if the girl in the car with you tried to change the station, you kicked her out of the car. I mean, that's just how it works.
Yeah,
right. You don't. It's Seger. You don't mess with Seger.
Right. There's so many great bands that influenced me growing up, influenced my attitude or my way of life, I guess maybe. But Bob Seger was definitely one of them. And yeah, if you didn't like him, you could get out just as quick as you got in my car.
Mm-hmm.
The Doors, another good one, Bob.
I like
Journey
the
Up the Road
Doors,
will be back next Monday.
but I think they are more popular than they probably should be, and that's only because of Jim Morrison's suicide. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You know,
I don't
yeah.
think
He was,
they were good, and they could have gotten
Mhm.
they may have gotten better, but what
Yeah.
they had, like Jimi Hendrix. I mean, same way. I love Jimi Hendrix, but I think the fact that his life was cut short too makes him more popular than really what he was at the time, and maybe what he would have been. I mean, that's no offense to them, obviously, but
right. Well,
sometimes we celebrate people who passed on more than they the merits of their work sometimes.
my opinion about Jimmy is he was way before his time. Now, if he would
Yeah,
have came out about the same time as Eddie came out, Eddie Van Halen, I think it would have been great too. But his death definitely brought him to a rise. But his technique of playing and how he played, he was before his time. He had things in there that you didn't hear before,
yeah,
and you see it all the time now. And so he
yeah.
was before his time. But
He was,
whatever was going on in personal,
but Jimi Hendrix and I actually have something pretty big in common.
what's that?
We're both in the Air Force.
Oh, nice. I didn't know he was in the Air Force. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
If I remember correctly, he actually
That's
got kicked out of the Air Force because he didn't want to do anything but play music and listen to music. But yeah.
Justin and Christina. My first 45s were Old Time Rock and Roll and Funky Town. Yes. Two great songs.
And not forget about, and Daydream said, don't forget about Styx. Like Styx a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't forget about Styx. Tommy Shaw. I'm a Tommy Shaw fan.
I actually saw Damn Yankees in concert a while back.
Thank you, Charm Heart.
Do you know who Damn Yankees are, Gina?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, Tommy Shaw. Yeah, I forget the other two. Tommy Shaw, there's three of them.
Nugent,
yeah, Ted Nugent. And what was the other one?
You know what? I can't not remember.
I'm a Ted Nugent fan all the way. He's a wild man.
Yeah. Now, a guy I used to work with actually went to high school with Nugent.
Oh, wow.
They graduated together. We didn't believe him until he showed the yearbook, and he'd actually, and he's like, yeah, the Nugent you see on the stage, yeah, that was a Nugent we grew up with. That's who he is. He just is. And I heard a funny story, and I think it's Tommy Shaw is a vegetarian.
Yeah,
and him
I've read that.
So they went out to, when they were doing Damn Yankees, they went out to Nugent's ranch, and the wife was cooking, something for him to eat. And well, it's Nugent, so most likely whatever his wife was cooking is something he killed earlier that day, not pulled out of a garden.
Right.
And he wouldn't tell. He didn't tell anybody what it was, and they were eating. And Tommy Shaw's like, "Oh man, this thing's good. What is this? What is this?" And he's like, those rabbits you were talking about earlier out in the yard? He's like, "Yeah." And he said he spit it all out all over the table.
That's great. That's great.
Joe Satriani, Justin, man, you're right after my own heart right here. Joe Satriani is something that hardly anybody ever, nobody recognizes his name hardly, but him, Carlos
Unless
Santana.
You play guitar.
I mean.
Well, Joe Satriani, I seen him in a bar, playing in a bar in Texas, a little hole in the wall bar.
Wow.
And I was already a fan. I don't know why he was there. It wasn't set up. And there was a house band, and they said, we have a special guest. And he went up. Oh my God. I was drooling. I couldn't even drink my beer. I was like, I just had to watch. I was just like, and his fingers just moved like just so easy. And it's like,
mesmerizing.
And it wasn't even his guitar. It wasn't even his guitar.
Yeah, it's mesmerizing. Nomad Unbroken Life, POD and Switchfoot. I love POD and Switchfoot. They are great bands. And yeah, Joe Satriani is, you don't see many people that can throw out a whole album full of instrumental work and get a lot of sales.
Right.
He's one of those guys.
Well, and Surfing with an Alien is the most coolest song I've ever heard.
It is.
You know, it's kind of cool. Yeah, with no words, he sold a lot of music with no words.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, this was fun talking about music. This is one of my favorite subjects.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for coming up, Michael. We got to get ready for Roy and Becky's raid over there. So as soon as we close up here, you guys jump over there. And thanks, Michael, for hanging out with me today, man.
Anytime, my friend.
Right on. And we do have the same taste in music. Rock and roll.
Rock on.
Right on.
All right,
I look at her working hard, and she's working hard in the background.
She's working hard. She's going to hit me with that broom in just a second. But Paul, I saw your comment about U2. Love U2.
Oh, U2, yeah.
Early U2, especially.
Oh yeah. There's so many great bands, man.
Yeah. Shelly just said somebody has to work so somebody else can play on YouTube. I think she's talking about me, but I'm not sure.
Well, thank you for coming up, guys, and I'm going to get off here. Thank you all for showing up. Paul, nice to see you, buddy. Michael, I'll see you next time, my friend.
Yes, sir. Let's go see Roy and Becky and what kind of mischief they're up to.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys over there.
Bye.
Bye.